Hi, it's Roger, thanks for dropping by. Postman Pat's just been. Well, the van man's just been actually, but you know what I mean. We have a box, and inside a box we have 5 plants. Now I've had a message via eBay from the seller, Zsusza, to say that she's not happy, or they're not happy, the vendors, sellers, with one of the plants. That's before I got it and made the decision. That's good. We can live with that. Yeah? So we'll find out which one, because I've forgotten, and if I try and get there I'm going to knock the tripod over, which is endearingly called doing a Rachel. If you don't know why, it's an in-joke. Right, now I've hacked the box to pieces and decimated it prior to you being here on film, because it makes me look an idiot, basically. Right, let's see what we've got. The idea will be to just get the plants out on the table. Well, as always, well packed. Yeah, straight away. We'll have that. That's good stuff. Oh, we've got lolly sticks. I love lolly sticks. Somebody's going to tell me they're not lolly sticks again, I know. Right, you can go there for a minute. Let's get me hacking tools out the way. If I bump my head on that flipping Bulbophyllum many more times, so I'm not normally doing this sort of thing with the Bulbophyllum sat right above my head, am I? Well, I can count 5, that's good. Let's get the rubbish out the way. Knocking all these plants flying. Ooh. And see what we can do. Can you tell what it is yet? It's yellow, and already I'm pleased that I haven't even got the wrapping off. Okay, bubble wrap, save that for Ron, later on that is. And the easiest way to get that out would be to cut it, but let's see if we can try and wiggle it up to the top and get my hand in. There we go. Right, yellow twinkle to start with. You know I'm a sucker for yellows, and I have quite a few twinkles. I like twinkles. Yeah, you might not. I do. Making a mess, aren't I? So, messes clean up later. The stick's not there for any other reason than packing. Sticks work good in packing. They stop things getting squashed together, and if you put a stick in like that and your pot's on the bottom of the box and that touches the bottom of the box, where can your pot go? Absolutely nowhere. I used that when I sent my one to Italy. Okay, I'll let you into a secret. Some of my small oncidiums, like twinkles, are going to get mounted for this year. I'm here. I can throw water on them as often as I like, yeah? And in the summer, when they're growing pretty good, they need water. But, yeah, I'm short on shelf space, high on hanging space. Now, I'll have to find special hanging places for oncidiums. I don't want them in the fullest light that I've got. But, yeah, we'll live with that one. Nice little plant. Yeah, there's still... a lot of the buds have gone, a lot are still there, and there's some still to open, like on that spike. So we've got more yellow twinkles to come. Now I like that. No problems with that one at all. Nice little plant. I'll show you. I can't remember which is the one that's supposed to be the dodgy one. We shall see. Oh, I know what this is. Oh. I've been looking forward to this. Now all I've got to do is wait for it to get dark. Why have I got to wait for it to get dark? Night scented. Yeah, I first saw this on one of Rachel's videos and thought that goes on the wish list. Okay, it's Orangis crata, I think it's called. What does it say on the lolly stick? Yeah, crata. And I've been after this one, yeah? And the only ones I've ever seen have been, what's the expression? Crap. Not very good is the polite version. And I saw this one with 2 flower spikes on, so you can't have a go that it's not flowering size like some of the sellers do, because it's got the flipping flowers on there. Now they're not stuck on with super glue, they are actually growing from the plant. Now that might sound funny to you, I've seen that. I've actually seen spikes that have come off in transport to a show and the vendors actually stuck the bloody things on to shift the plant. Some of the sellers you get will get up to anything to move their plants on. Okay, nice little plant. Looks like some of the buds are blasting on that spike. Not a problem, it's flowering size. Yeah, it's got some roots, and I'll do a bit of research on that one to find out whether that's a highlight Orangis, a medium or a low light Orangis. They all like high humidity. I don't have to do that bit of research, but some of them actually like really bright light. They grow in, you know, near the trio tops, near the tree tops, so they get a lot more light. And some live right down the bottom, you know, and they're quite heavily shaded. So I need to know which sort I've got. It will go on a mount. It just lends itself to going in a mount. So, and already these aerial roots are viable. That one's not, but these are. So it already lends itself to going on a mount because it's already got some aerial roots, you know, to pin on. Yeah. Not a whiff. Now I'll have to come out in the dark, won't I? It's a nice scented, you know, bloom. So that's that one. We like that. It's a nice little plant. Now, what do we do? Let's get this one out as it's under my nose. Right, now it's one of the Bulbophyllums that the vendor wasn't happy with, but she said see what you think when you open it. Unfortunately it's a Bulbophyllum, and those of you who follow me know that I've only got one, I've only recently got it, and I don't really know much about Bulbophyllums, quite honestly, and along with Dendrobiums you are looking at a vast genus. And within that genus, you have got a hell of a variety of plants, environments, situations, and requirements. Yeah? So, right, that one is Dirier, I think that's pronounced. You know me in pronunciation, I always hold the tag up. Now, from my little knowledge of Bulbophyllums, I can't see anything wrong with this little one, so it's got to be the other one if there is anything wrong at all. Might be just being worried unduly, I don't know. Okay, right, now this little one is in moss. Not my favourite media, but for some plants it is the best thing. It really is. But I've got to look into it first before I make that decision. Oh God, what a mess. Now that's a nice little plant. It's got roots going down into the pot. How far they go I don't know. And it's got a good new growth coming. I would imagine that's not too far off flowering size, but that is a nice little plant. Hang on. Some plants that I don't know what they are, I need to keep the tag with the plant. Memory's not that good. Yep, happy with that one. So it's got to be the other Bulbophyllum that's potentially got a bit of a problem. Let's have a look. Well, that's going to be the little one, isn't it? It's got to be. Well, I say little one, it's not that flipping little. Right. Well, at first sight, what on earth is supposed to be wrong with that? Because I can't see anything wrong with it yet. Give it a chance. Let's get it out. But at the moment, you know, if I hadn't had that email, I'd be opening these blinds, looking at each plant in turn, and, you know, making my judgments as I see it. That's what I do. But, let's see if I can see why the vendor wasn't too happy with this one. Because at the moment, I can't. You know, Zsusza, now you're famous, don't you? Well, I always believe in giving credit where credit's due. And vice versa, of course. I see no serious problems with that. The only thing I can see is that there is one older, very small pseudo bulb down in the moss that's not good. That's one of the oldest bulbs. I really don't think that's a problem. I would say from my limited knowledge of Bulbophyllums that these two bulbs here are too deep. I don't believe the bulbs on Bulbophyllums are supposed to be buried. That is nothing more than getting it out of the pot and just set it. Yeah, if you look, I don't know whether you can see from there, but if you look at this, if I get a bit of the moss out and make even more mess, somebody going to come round and clear up for me, are they? Yeah, see, the bulb is right down in there. That's probably not the best of ideas, but that's easily fixed, providing they're not all rotted off when I get them out. It's just too deep in the pot. And I can probably see why. It's because of this thing. You know, Bulbophyllums have a habit of doing long runners and pushing up a new growth. That's what they often do. Well, I'm not going to have a go about that. I don't see anything wrong with that. I can't say it, but I'll put a pop-up. No, it's not. If I hadn't had the email, I wouldn't have even queried it, quite honestly. I've got no problems with that plant. To say, even though those bulbs are sunk a bit deep, they're not rotting, so they probably haven't been down there too long. The moss isn't absolutely soaking wet and soggy. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. As the Australians would say, no worries. You all right, Lynn? Right, now the biggie. Now anybody who remembers the list is going to know what this is. Whether the blooms have made it or not, I'm not that fussed. It's the fact that it's got some and it's alive. All I got to do is try and keep it like that. You know, this is a zygo. You know what I'm like with zygos so far? I've killed 4. Now, in my defence, in the case of the defence, the first one I ever got, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I left it in the media and the roots rotted off. Okay, I think I might have to just put my hand up to that one. The next one, I don't really know why that one keeled over. The third one, still not really sure why that one keeled over. But it kicked my backside into gear to go and flipping well find out, because I love these and I want them. And I don't want them to keep dying. Now the fourth one had a virus. Now whether the person who sold it to me knew that or not, I don't know, and you know, you can't ever find out, can you? But when I saw the picture of this, let me get the packing stake out, not the ones holding the blooms up. They are serving a purpose. The packing ones are just to stop the things banging up against each other and wobbling about in the pots, and it works quite well. Now, I'll tell you, some of the petals are falling off the blooms. Well, you know, it's called transport. That have been bashed around in a van and all sorts of things like that. You could sort of understand it. Okay, first impressions. It's not a bad plant. Bulbs, big new growth there, big new growth there. In fact, both new growths are blooming. One's got 2 spikes, one's got another spike, and another one coming. Yay! So both new growths have got 2 spikes on them. That tells me straight away that this is a pretty vigorous version of a Zygopetalum. This are good. The more vigour the plant's got, the less chance I've got of killing the flipping thing. These are lovely blooms. That's a lovely colour. I mean, some marks on them, but you know, some of them are only just opening and I've got more to come. So even if some of these have been open a while and they might go over, that's not a problem. I get some new ones. But do you know what did it for me? You know what I said? I will get another zygo when I see a good one. What do you need to keep a zygo going well? Some flipping roots. And this one's got some. It's got signs of roots heading down into the pot all over the place. Now, okay, some of these aerials aren't doing so good. This is not that type of plant. Quite honestly, Zygopetalums, are actually, in reality, semi-terrestrial. They do tend to grow on the ground. Now, they don't grow in dirt, but they do grow at ground level. Now, that should tell you that they don't like incredibly bright light, although they could be in full sun at ground level, but they tend to be forest plants, high humidity, but not dripping wet, the plant I mean, and down in the leaf litter, you know, and the moss and the ferns and things like that. That's their environment where they're happy. And I think that's possibly the mistake I made with one of mine. I potted it in bark, just bark. And it was medium bark with some big bits in the bottom of the pot to give it some drainage. Well, probably that was exactly the wrong thing to do with something that's semi-terrestrial, was give it as much air as possible in the pot. So that's probably down to me, but you learn, you know. Learning by killing plants is one way. I wouldn't say it's the best way, but it is a way. Okay, that is a nice zygo. I'm happy with that. Those two new growths are smashing. Yes, it will have to come out of its pot, but not yet. And why not yet? Because I don't want to waste the blooms. Now, you can get away with repotting plants while they're in flower, but you put a risk into it, yeah? And the fact that those new growths have pushed up at that sort of rate, no signs of rot or anything like that, we like this, it's relatively happy in that pot. I'm going to clue how long it's been in there, but I would suggest when it was last potted, you know, sometimes it's difficult to tell which way an orchid's going to decide to go. I mean, some of them come straight out the middle of the plant when you've pushed it right over to one side to give it plenty of room for the new growths, and it decides, no, I'm not going there, I want to go where I like. And some of them just do that. So it may well be that then, when this was put in the pot, it wasn't quite clear where the new growths were going to come from, and then blow me, they came from right on the edge of the pot. So some of the roots went down the outside, which is not the best place for them. But yeah, nice plant. Okay, so there we go, an unboxing video. I was just going to say I can't wait to get that in the sunshine in this morning and light those colours up, but should I be doing that with a zygo? Perhaps not. Not too bright, good humidity, got that, yeah, and not soggy in the pot, but semi-terrestrial. So it needs the type of medium that, you know, it can spread its roots out in like a ground plant would do. So it doesn't need a big airy barky type thing. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put that in when I eventually get round to it. I'll perhaps look it up and see what others do, you know, others that are successful with them. I heard a story once when I was in the property game, nothing to do with orchids of course, you know. If you want to know about buying and selling property, don't read the column in the newspaper from the guy who only owns one house and lives in it. The hell does he know? Go and find a property billionaire tycoon who's been doing it and made a big success out of it. That's the one to talk to, not somebody who just writes in a column. Okay, and that sort of concept goes into all walks of life. An expert is not necessarily somebody who gets paid a lot of money to write for people to read. They might be, but the expert is the one who does it and makes a success of it in my book. Okay, I'll leave that one up there, the genuine unboxing video. Thank you, Zsusza. I'm quite happy with all 5 plants. I know you were worried about one of them. I have no concerns. I'll send you an email in case you don't see my videos. Yeah, your plants are famous. Good plants. Thank you very much. Well pleased. Complete with lolly sticks. Love it. Okay, thanks for dropping by. Unboxing video. I have another unboxing video coming soon. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. Thanks for dropping by then. See you next time.